classes. So I'm back with another lesson from grade 9th English, and today we are going to start the chapter from Moments, and this is one of a very interesting story. This story is about a very general topic, and the name of the chapter is The Accidental Tourist. Okay, so this is from Moments, and this is the 9th chapter, The Accidental Tourist. Like from the title, tourist and accidental. Here it shows that the tourist, who is the main protagonist of the story, who is the main hero of the story, has a lot of accidents. Okay, whenever he is in a journey, it happens that he meets with an accident. So the accidental tourist is one of the very funny and very interesting stories that you will come across in your book, and we will see that how the journey goes. It tells about, it covers the journey, the voyage, the tour, and the protagonist, the tourist, how he is an accidental tourist. We will come to know when we will read the chapter. So together we are going to read the story, and later on you will do the question answers and word meanings that I am going to provide you. This is rather a very funny incidents will take place in this story, so I wish you will watch the video entirely so that you understand the story. And if you will watch the video entirely, you will understand the chapter well, you will understand the story well, then no problem will be there for you. The questions you will do easily, and the story you will get to know very easily. So together we are going to read the chapter. Watch the video till end so that you know what the story really holds.
Okay, so let's read the chapter The Accidental Tourist. They say that the world is a small place because travel has become easy, but not everybody finds it easy to travel. Here, the author reflects humorously his experiences as a traveler. So, the author wants to say that everyone nowadays is traveling, and the world today is very small place, and travel is very easy. World has become small because we can roam here and there very easily, but not everybody finds it easy to travel. Okay, traveling is easy, but not easy to travel means you can go here and there very easily, but when you are going, there will be some difficulties for a few, and those difficulties, those accidents will be discussed in the chapter. Let's begin. Of all the things I am not very good at, living in the real world is perhaps the most outstanding. Okay, so the author starts in a negative tone that there are so many things in which I am not very good, and living in the real world, actual world, is perhaps the most my most bad thing. I am constantly filled with wonder at the number of things that other people do without any evident difficulty that are pretty much beyond me. So sometimes the author is very much thrilled to see that people are doing things which he does in a very wrong manner. I'm sorry. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've gone looking up for the lavatory in a cinema, for instance, and ended up standing in an alley on the wrong side of a self-locking door. See, very humorous incident he is telling us. Lavatory means washroom. So he is saying that I cannot tell you that I have gone so many times looking for a washroom in a cinema and ended up standing in an alley. Alley is a lane, small lane in any room, in any floor. Okay, and he himself does things that he gets locked up inside a self-locking door. My particular specialty now is returning to hotel desk 2 or 3 times a day and asking what my room number is. Okay, so he forgets also, and he goes to the reception twice or thrice in a day and asks for his room number in the hotel. I am, in short, easily confused. So he is saying that, in short, we can say that I am a very confused person. I was thinking about this the last time we went en famille. En famille means together when family goes for a voyage or a trip, on a big trip. It was at Easter and we were flying to England for a week. When we arrived at Logan Airport in Boston and were checking in. Okay, so they were going for England, and when they arrived in the Boston airport, I suddenly remember that I had recently joined British Airways frequent flyer program. So he remembered that he is a frequent flyer of the British Airways and he has one card with his name. Sorry. I also remembered that I had put the card in the carry-on bag that was hanging around my neck. So he's telling us that he has one small carry bag which he has put on his neck, and in that the frequent flyer card is there. And here's where the trouble started. So see, one problem started. The zip on the bag was jammed. Okay, the zip was broken. So I pulled on it and yanked at it with grunts and frowns and increasing concentration. I kept this up for some minutes, but it wouldn't budge. So he tried to do it, but the chain was jammed. So I pulled harder and harder with more grunts. Grunts, he is making noises of when you make such noise when you put your lot of effort. Well, you can guess what happened. Abruptly, the zip gave away. So, well, you can sense what would have happened. Very badly, the zip gave away. The side of the bag flew open and everything within. Newspaper cuttings were there, other loose papers were there. Sorry. A tin of pipe tobacco was there, magazines were there, passport was there. So all of this money was there, English money. So because he was traveling to Britain, and a film was there. So all of this came out of the bag when he was trying very hard. So how funny it would have looked that everything was coming out from his carry bag. So everything was fallen and spread over an area about the size of a tennis court. I watched dumbstruck. Dumbstruck means in a state of shock, as 100 carefully sorted documents came raining down in a fluttery cascade. Coins bounced to a variety of noisy oblivions, and the now lidless tin of tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse, disgorging its contents as it went. So everything was out and everything was fallen, and it was a very pathetic kind of a situation when every document was out, every coin was out, and he was in a very embarrassing situation. My tobacco, I cried in horror, thinking that I would have to pay for that much tobacco in England now that another budget had come and gone. And then changed the cry to my finger, my finger. So earlier he was crying about his tobacco, now he was crying about his finger. As I discovered that I had guessed my finger on the zip and was shedding blood in a lavish manner. I am not very good around flowing blood generally, but when it's my own, well, I think hysterics are fully justified. So, sorry, because of the broken zip, sorry, his finger started to bleed, and he was in a hysteria. He was very panic, and he was shouting that my finger, like that. Confused and unable to help, my hair went into panic mode. It was at this point that my wife looked at me with an expression of wonder, not anger or exasperation, but just simple wonder, and said, "I can't believe you do this for a living." Okay, so I can't believe you do this for a living. You travel a lot, but I am afraid it is so. I always have catastrophes when I travel. Once on an aeroplane, I leaned over to tie a shoelace. Just at the moment, someone in the seat ahead of me threw his seat back into full recline. Sorry. So when he was sitting in the aeroplane, someone in the front seat put his chair in the full recline mode, okay, and found him and the author found himself pinned helplessly in the catch position. It was only by clawing the leg of the man sitting next to me that I managed to get myself freed. On another occasion, so author is telling us his funny stories. On another occasion, I knocked a soft drink onto the lap of a sweet lady sitting beside me. Okay, so one more incident was there. A very beautiful sweet lady was sitting beside him, and he knocked the soft drink on her lap. The flight attendant came and cleaned her up and brought me a replacement drink. And instantly I knocked it onto the woman again. See, again the soft drink was brought, and again the woman, he threw it on the woman's lap. To this day, I don't know how I did it. So he is still confused at how he did it twice. I just remember reaching out for the new drink and watching helplessly as my arm, like some cheap prop in one of those 50s horror movie with a name like The Undead Limb, violently swept the drink from its perch and onto her lap. Sorry. The lady looked at me with the stupefied expression you would expect to receive from someone whom you have repeatedly drenched, and uttered an oath that started with "oh", finished with "sake", and in between had some words that I have never heard uttered in public before. Certainly not by a nun. So she was a nun. She was a sister. And she was abusing him, cursing him. This, however, was not my worst experience on a plane flight. My worst experience was when I was writing important thoughts in a notebook. Buy socks, clutch drinks carefully. So he was making his points and sucking thoughtfully on the end of my pen. Okay. It is a habit of a lot of people that when you think, you suck the back portion of your pen. You put your pen on your mouth, and same he was doing, and fell into conversation with an attractive young lady in the next seat. So a very beautiful lady was sitting on the next seat, and he was just biting his pen. I amused her for perhaps 20 minutes with a scattering of urban bonds mots, then retired to the lavatory where I discovered that the pen had leaked and that my mouth, chin, tongue, teeth and gums were now a striking, scrub-resistant navy blue and would remain so for several days. So he was telling her the stories and all, and 20 minutes he talked and then retired to the lavatory where he discovered that the pen had leaked and that mouth, chin, tongue, everything was now blue. So you will understand, I trust, when I will tell you that how much I ache to be a suave. I would love just once in my life to rise on a dinner table without looking as if I have just experienced an extremely localized seismic event. Okay, so whenever he is having dinner, then also some problem happens. He does silly things. Okay, like Jethalal, he is doing very funny things. And whenever he's getting in his car, close the door without leaving 14 inches of coat outside, so coat is stuck sometimes in the car. Wear light colored trousers without discovering at the end of the day that I have various times set on a chewing gum, ice cream, cough syrup and motor oil, but it is not to be. Okay, so he does these funny things. Now on planes, when the food is delivered, my wife says, take the lids of the food for your daddy. Okay, to the kids she says that you do it for your daddy. Put your hoods up, children, daddy's about to cut his meat. Of course, this is only when I am flying with my family. When I am on my own, I don't eat, drink, or lean over to tie my shoelaces. Okay, he is very cautious because he thinks that some mistake, some blunder, some funny, idiotic thing he will do. And never put a pen anywhere near my mouth. I just sit very, very quietly, sometimes on my hands to keep them from flying out unexpectedly and causing liquid mischief. So he is very cautious about it. It's not much fun, but it does at least cut down on the laundry bills. Okay, so it is not very fun thing, very thrilling thing, but at least he cut down his laundry bills. He because he does some things, some silly things, because of which his clothes get dirty, he gets into trouble, so he tries to be at ease whenever he's traveling. I never did get my frequent flyer miles, by the way. I never do. I couldn't find the card in time. This has become a real frustration for me. Everyone I know, everyone is forever flying off to Bali first class with their families with air miles. I never get to collect things. I must fly 100,000 miles a year. Yet I have accumulated only about 212 air miles divided between 23 airlines. Okay, so he is traveling by different airlines because of these issues. This is because either I forget to ask the air miles when I check in, or I remember to ask them, but the airline then manages not to record them. Okay, so when you travel so much, you get the air miles pass, but the writer is not getting any. Or the clerk informs me that I am not entitled to them. In January, on a flight to Australia, a flight for which I was going to about a jillion air miles, the clerk shook her head when I presented my card and told me I was not entitled to any. Why? He asked that why I am not being allowed to travel through the card. The ticket is in the name of B. Bryson and the card is in the name of W. Bryson. I explained to her the close and venerable relationship between Bill and William, but she wouldn't have it. So he tried his best to tell her that okay, I am Bill, but it is also known as William, but she didn't understand. So I didn't get my air miles and I won't be flying to Bali first class just yet. Perhaps just as well, really. I could never go that long without eating. Okay, so this story was written by Bill Bryson, as it was discussed in the last part of the story, B. Bryson and W. Bryson. So you see that how narrator finds himself in such troublesome situations where he has to go through a lot foolishness he does without actually the intention being so. One nun, he through water, through soft drink. One pretty lady was there, his face became blue and it was very embarrassing for him. Food he throws, everything he does whenever he is traveling or at home also. So he is a person who finds trouble. Some people are there where trouble comes quite often. He is one such person that he will attract problems for himself. So I hope that you have understood the chapter and you have enjoyed the chapter. This is a very funny and interesting story. I request you all to read it once at your home. The work I will assign you that you have to do in your fair notebook, and apart from it you have to complete the pending work, and if any queries related to the chapter are there, you can always ask. So I hope that you have got the chapter, and we will meet again soon with the next video.
Okay, so I hope that you have enjoyed the story. The story was very funny, very interesting, and you came to know that how and why he is known as the accidental tourist. Now you are going to do the question answers and word meanings from the PDF. And if any queries are there, any confusions are there related to the chapter, you can always feel free to ask. So we are going to conclude the literature part soon. Grammar part we have already covered, and afterwards we will do the revision. So few stories, few poems are left that we will do shortly. And if any problem, any queries are there, you can always ask. So I am Aman from DPS Silwani Navachor. You are watching PTO classes. Thank you so much for watching the lecture.